Hey everybody, DJ Porkchop hanging out with you tonight in my not so well lit shop. But anyway, what am I talking about tonight? On this actually not so cold Monday night, it was like below freezing a day or two ago, and I come out to the garage tonight and it's almost 60 degrees. So why not, right? I have in front of me a list that I compiled of 10 questions that I get asked on the spinal cord stimulator. I've been asked a whole bunch in almost the 2 years. I'll be 2 years post-op March 2020, I believe. Well, I did a 3-part video and it was extremely long, and I condensed it down to one and it was still extremely long. So I'm going to try to make this one a bit shorter. And so now that you understand what I'm up to tonight, I'm going to go ahead and shut up and get into these questions so it doesn't get that long once again. Question number one, I get asked a lot. Are there risks involved? Well, yeah. There's risks involved when you get out of bed in the morning. You could trip over your dog and break your neck and die. Pardon me. You could walk out your front door and go check the mail and get hit by a car. I mean, there's risk in anything you do. What I believe the risk in getting in a car accident is like, what, 1 in 80, 1 in 50? You take a risk every day you're awake. So, what's my old buddy Joe say? I don't remember his quote right off the top of my head, but something like, is your fear worse than your pain? If so, then you're not ready for this yet. So, yeah, there's risks. I mean, your chances are you're going to be put under general anesthesia that probably puts you in a twilight sleep while they implant you. I was out for both the trial and the implant, both. Per my insurance, they wouldn't pay for it any other way. I've heard some people say they were wide awake when they got the trial put in. No, not me. I once had a doctor tell me, "You're big and tough, you could take the pain." Well, I got big and tough so I wouldn't have to take the pain anymore. That's exactly my answer I give them. So, it's the best I got. So yeah, there's risk. Question number 2. Does it hurt? Yeah, it hurts like holy hell. The trial? Not so much. Trial didn't bother me none. I mean, where they actually, believe it or not, what bugged me the worst is where they, when they run the 2 wires in the middle of your back, I call it well, it's in the middle of your back, and then they suture them in place so they won't move on you. Well, hopefully they don't move. Man, them sutures sucked. They itched, and then there was tape. And that tape itched. Me and medical tape have a bad problem with each other. I was eating Benadryl left and right and whatever else anti-itch stuff I could get my hands on. I wasn't allowed to take it off, couldn't wash, no nothing. And I didn't have my trial like most people do. That's another question I didn't write down. I'll probably do a part 2. Most people have theirs for like 3 to 5 days. Well, I think 3 days is a joke, but that's part 2 video. I had mine for like 12 to 14 days. I can't remember what it was. It was either 12 or 14 days, which is unheard of, really, I believe. So, I could like sponge bath and cloth bathe and all that jazz. They're like, you can take a bath, just don't get your back wet. Man, I'm a great big guy. I don't do bathtubs. I can't stand up on them. So, sponge bath it was. So yeah, the implant though itself, it hurt like holy hell. For a good while. For a real good while. Where they cut me open in the middle of my back, I tend to call it a bra strap cut. If you go back and look at my other videos, maybe there might be a playlist in one of these 2 corners. Description below. I have a playlist of my whole entire spinal cord stimulator journey from the day before I got my trial up until this very video. No holds barred playlist. I tell you the good, the bad, the ugly. It hurt like holy hell though. That bra strap cut, where they cut them muscles open in the middle of your back, the thoracic area, I had issues for a very long time. it hurt me so bad I would lean up against this wall behind me while I was sitting at my bench here. I would arch my back and the muscles were cramping so bad I was like gasping for air almost. It was that bad. I basically couldn't work on websites anymore. I'm a web designer too. Old school, but nonetheless I still do it. I couldn't sit at a desk anymore and work on computers, so I actually had to get a piece of wood. Sorry, in the frame here. Get a piece of wood and set it across my lap and sit in a recliner and put a laptop and my external hard drive in my lap. In the pocket where they cut you open for the, some people get it. I've heard they get it in their stomach. I'm not real sure. Mine was implanted right above left butt cheek in the hip type of area, right in there. Most people know what I'm talking about. That incision, and I had the staples too, by the way. Man, that incision burnt like holy frickin' hell for a long time. So yeah, I'm getting long-winded here. It hurt. It really did hurt. Can you see your implant? People ask me, can you see your implant? Yeah, you can see mine sticking out. If you're not familiar with it yet, if you haven't got the implant yet, if you're considering it, if you've been suggested, you found this video, if you have not laid your eyes on one yet, it looks like a pacemaker almost. The old, I can only comment on the Boston Scientific Stimulator. That's the only one I got. Mine actually looks like a pacemaker, where they would put the 2 wires in the top or whatever. I don't know how a pacemaker works, but that's what it looks like. And they cut a little pocket open, they insert it in there and feed the leads through, and you know, there's a lot of videos on YouTube on the actual procedure itself and how it works and everything. But basically, because I've been having a lot of problems with mine. Like I can't lean back in chairs because it hurts like holy hell now, and I'm not even 2 years post implant yet. Apparently, what my neurosurgeon told me, the guy who implanted it, is he said it's like a sliver. If you get a sliver in your finger. He said, you ever notice your body, it puts a little bump over that sliver? He said, that's your body's trying to push that sliver out, you know, and he went on and explained it to me, and it most certainly sounded good to me. He's a doctor, I'm not. So he said, basically, that's a foreign object in your body. He said your body's trying to push that implant back out. He said, about every usually 2 to 3 years, we got to go in there and revise that pocket and push it back in there and sew you back shut again. Well, the problem is, since I got my implant, I've dropped not a vast amount of weight, but a considerable amount. For me it is. I probably shaved off 55, 60 pounds since I got my implant. So yeah, mine sticks out pretty well. It's noticeable. I got to get a revision done. It's hurting pretty good now to lean back. Sex life. I get asked this all the time. Did it improve your sex life any? Did it make it worse? Well, anybody who's watched my prior videos knows I essentially couldn't get out of bed for the most part. I could, but I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand on my right leg at all. So basically, I couldn't do nothing. And without going into specifics of positions, because somebody might be watching this with youngins close, I want to keep it friendly as I can. My leg hurts so bad in my hips, I ain't gonna let nobody sit on me. So, visuals, right? Knees wasn't working for me. So, it essentially, after I got this, it made it 100% better for me, because then I can operate again. And that's probably all the further I'll go into that. Women, I've seen women report, this is not like people tell you it's like a 10 unit, it shocks you. It don't shock you. It's like a vibration. Thus comes where I was talking about with women. They say it tends to give them sensations in areas that's really, really good. If I could get that program, I probably wouldn't leave home. Just saying. But no, it don't do that to me. But it did improve me 100%, and I can get up and go again without going into detail. People tell me, hey, I seen your video and you mentioned a warranty. You mean to tell me this thing's not lifetime guaranteed? No. No, it's not. I don't have my remote control with me, so I can't show it to you, or my hockey puck charger, or the charger station itself. That's not lifetime warranty. They only warranty, this is Boston Scientific only. I can't, like, once again, going back to what I told you, I don't know anything about anyone else. I have Boston Scientific. They only warranty it for 1 year. Your stimulator, the remote control. I got the MRI Mirage or whatever the hell it is. I can't even remember. It just works. I don't care what it is. It works, so I really don't care. But the remote control, the charger itself that I stick to my back. So they cover those for 1 year, and at the end of that year, you'll get a letter in the mail that tells you for an extra 1 year extended warranty for $195, you're covered. What's not covered is anything wet. If you drop it in a mud puddle, if you drop it in the river, the creek, and you retrieve it, and you send it to them, you're like, hey, it don't work, I need a new one. Warranty, they can tell if it's been wet. They can tell. You're not going to get a new one. You'll buy a new one, but you're not going to get one replaced. Same thing with your charger. If you got the sticky pads, I joke on posts on the group that I belong to. Don't sit on the toilet with them sticky pads attached to your back with your charger. I don't trust them that much. They're really good, but I don't trust them that much. If that baby falls in the toilet, it's not covered. $195 for a year. Are you a gambler? This stuff's very expensive. My particular stuff is outrageously expensive. It was like $2-3 grand for a remote. That's stupid crazy. But I can get on eBay and pick one up used, and hope to God it still works. Sometimes you can pick them up for $100. I've seen them go for as much as $400 by the time people get done bidding on them. But then you're stuck in the competition people have. No, I'm gonna outbid you. I'm gonna outbid you. I'm gonna outbid you. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I gotta have it. Just so I have 3 spares in the house, right? And then they end up spending money that they didn't even really need to. That's why I don't like eBay. But it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do if you need a new remote control or a charger. So $195 for a year. I showed my controller on video one time, and somebody's like, ooh, your program's that low? Well, here's the problem. This surgery is very, very, very personal. My old buddy Joseph Borg, he runs a fantastic group over on Facebook. There'll be a link in the description below. He's got over 3,000 active members. He's very active in the group himself. He's very active admin. No, he don't pay me to plug his group, by the way. I'm not even an admin or a moderator there. I just go there. So he'd like, well, your programs don't. It's real low. It doesn't match mine. And this is what I was going back to on it. I tell people on his website too, like on his group, don't bank on what others tell you. And this is another thing I got written down too. This is where I was going. What he said. It's a very personal surgery. It's not like a hip or a knee replacement where you get it replaced and you go home. And you heal up and you get better and off you go. This isn't like that. This surgery is very, very, very personal. You get out of it exactly what you put into it. You do what the doctor tells you to, because otherwise you're going to jeopardize everything that they did for you. No BLTs. That doesn't mean no bacon, lettuce, tomatoes, unless your dietitian told you. That means no bending, lifting, twisting. I was told like nothing heavier than my shoes. I kind of broke the first time I picked up a pot of coffee, I guess, but whatever. So anyway, so how you heal and how you recover and how your body reacts to your programs is way different than how mine does. My 10.3 on my program 1 could be your 77.9 on your program. I may be able to take a lot more of the vibration than you can. Your rep knows, they can tell. how to set that. I mean, if you can't handle it, they're going to set that extremely high and lock it so you can't turn it up any higher and hurt you. You can damage your internal organs with these things if you're not careful. You know what I'm saying? If you overstimulate yourself, they will cause problems. So that goes back to question number 1 on the risks. Yeah, there's risks. So your programs and your settings, if you want to compare with people online, that's going to get you nowhere very fast. I wouldn't do it. Don't put no money on nothing no one tells you. And that goes right on into number 8.